Someone close to you is trying to hide a desire that no longer fits in their chest. This person watches you in silence. Every movement you make awakens something they can't control. They want to kiss you. They want to taste your skin, but simply don't know how to say it. Have you noticed the persistent yet discreet glances, that smile that appears out of nowhere when you speak? It's as if the words are stuck in their throat while their heart beats faster just being near you. So what now? Are you going to wait for this courage that might never come? Or will you take the initiative and find out what might arise from this so evident desire? The kiss they dream of might be in your hands. They try to disguise it, but the truth is evident in every gesture. The way their eyes seek yours, even when trying to avoid eye contact, or that moment when their voice trembles slightly when saying something simple. You feel there is something more. It's as if the air becomes heavier, loaded with something they still don't know how to express but that you can perceive. Maybe you think it's just an impression, that these actions mean nothing. But deep down, don't you also feel this different energy when you're in the same space? Don't you notice how even the most banal conversations always seem loaded with a hidden meaning, with an intention that is never spoken but is present in every word? And why haven't they said anything yet? It might be fear. Fear that you don't feel the same. That this truth, if revealed, will completely change the dynamic between you two. They might be afraid of ruining what already exists, even though all they want is to take one more step. Or perhaps they simply don't know how to start this conversation, how to reveal something so deep and vulnerable without feeling too exposed. The thing is, this is not going to disappear. That desire won't go away on its own. The more she keeps it inside, the more intense it becomes, and with each passing day she wonders, does he, she know? Does he, she realize how hard it is not to say anything? Does he, she feel the same way? You can choose to ignore these signs, or you can pay more attention. Who knows? The moments you consider casual, like a shared laugh or an unplanned meeting, might already be loaded with significance for her. It could be that the innocent touch on the arm, that hug that lasted a second longer, or even the way she laughs at your jokes, are attempts to get closer without seeming obvious. Now stop and think for a moment. Do you feel something? Have you ever looked at this person and wondered what it would be like to cross that line? Have you ever imagined what it would be like to kiss her, to transform that silent tension into something real? If so, then what's holding you back? Maybe you're waiting for a clear sign, something that confirms her intentions unequivocally. But do you really need that? Sometimes silence speaks louder than any words. Shyness, nervousness, the attempt to act casually. All these can be ways to hide something that's already obvious to those who know how to see it. And what if you decide to take the first step? It doesn't have to be something grand, not even a declaration full of words. It can be a simple gesture, a touch, a longer glance, a smile that says, I know, because deep down maybe that's exactly what she needs, a sign that she's not alone in this feeling. After all, what do you have to lose? Maybe the fear of getting it wrong, of misinterpreting the situation, is holding you back. But think about it. What if this moment is the beginning of something you didn't even know you were waiting for? What if the kiss she's been dreaming of is also the kiss that can change everything for you? Don't let doubts take the place of possibilities, because the truth is that time doesn't wait. And while you hesitate, while she hesitates, the moment may slip through your fingers. It can become just a memory of something that never happened. So, here's the question you need to answer for yourself. Are you willing to take the risk? Are you ready to set aside uncertainties and follow what your heart is trying to tell you? Because if you are, this might be your chance to transform her will and your desire into something much greater. Now, imagine what's going through her mind at this very moment. What does she think every time you two are together? She's probably rehearsing 1,000 ways to get closer, creating scenarios where she finally gathers the courage to open up to you. But at the same time, the fear of pushing you away, of being rejected, makes her pull back at the last moment. She thinks, does he, she feel something too? What if I expose myself and he, she isn't on the same wavelength? This constant doubt is what keeps her trapped in this cycle of desire and insecurity. That's why she prefers to let silence speak for her, even if it means keeping inside something that consumes her every day. And meanwhile, you're there, perhaps without fully realizing the impact you have on her. Maybe until now you haven't paid enough attention to those small gestures. That longer than usual exchange of glances, the nervous laughter in a random moment, or even the way she always seems willing to be by your side, even when she doesn't need to be. These are the signs that don't lie. She doesn't know how to say it, but everything she does demonstrates what she feels. And deep down she hopes you understand what's between the lines, because for her, taking the next step seems terrifying. But what about you? Are you willing to open your eyes and see what's happening? Because as much as she tries to hide it, there is something she cannot disguise, the intensity with which she feels this for you, and that intensity is not going to disappear on its own. Now I want you to think about something very important. What if you are the only source of happiness for her amidst a sea of uncertainties? What if you are the person who makes her days lighter, more colorful, even without realizing it? Maybe you have never imagined the impact you have. Maybe you have never thought that each smile, each word you say, could be the reason she feels alive, motivated, hopeful. And you, what do you feel? It could be that until now, you haven't given yourself the time or permission to explore this within you. But what if this desire is not one-sided? What if deep down you also feel something, but have never thought about giving it a voice? Maybe because you are afraid that everything will change, or because you haven't had the opportunity to see this possibility clearly. But now, the opportunity is right in front of you. You can continue ignoring the signs, pretending that none of this is happening, or you can do something different. And it doesn't have to be something exaggerated. No grand declarations are needed. Many times what matters are the small gestures, a moment where you make it clear that you also feel, that you are also willing to take a risk. Why not start with a more personal conversation? Something light, but filled with meaning. Something that shows you are attentive, that you have noticed, because sometimes all she needs is a nudge, a demonstration that she is not alone in this feeling. And if you take that first step, what could happen? Maybe you'll discover that there's much more than you imagined behind this silence. Maybe you'll realize that the kiss she so desires is exactly what you want too, or at the very least, maybe you'll have the chance to clarify everything and not be left wondering what if for the rest of your life. Now think for a moment. If you decide to stay where you are, what does that mean? It means you're choosing uncertainty, choosing not to know. It means that a few months or years from now, you might look back and wonder what would have happened if you had had the courage to take a step. And do you want to live with that doubt? Do you want to carry the possibility that something incredible could have happened, but never did, because neither of you could break through the barrier of silence? You have the power to change all of this. It's not just about what she feels. It's about what you're going to do with this moment, with this opportunity. Because the truth is, moments like this don't happen every day. And here's what you need to consider. Are you willing to let this pass? Or are you ready to step out of your comfort zone and discover what's waiting for you on the other side? There are no guarantees. Maybe she'll be surprised. Maybe she'll need time to digest what you say or do. But what matters is that you'll have taken the first step. You'll have shown that you noticed, that you felt, that you're open to what might come from it. Because at the end of the day, love, desire, connection, all of these require courage. And now, the choice is in your hands. Now imagine what is at stake here. It's not just about her desire or the insecurity that prevents her from speaking. It's about the chance for something unique, something that can completely change what you both know as normal. Because that tension that exists between you, that silent exchange of glances, that nervousness that arises in the air when you're close to each other, is not a coincidence. There is something there, something that is begging to be revealed, something that could be much bigger than either of you imagines. What is happening now is like a slightly open door. You can choose to leave it as it is, hoping that time will resolve it, or that she will have the courage to act. But honestly, time rarely resolves things on its own. It just accumulates doubts and regrets. And the question you need to ask yourself now is simple. Do you want to wait? Do you want to risk never discovering what could have been? Or are you willing to take the next step, to express what you feel, even if subtly? Because believe me, she is waiting. Maybe she doesn't even realize she's waiting for you. But every gesture of hers, Every timid attempt to get close is a silent scream from someone who doesn't know how to take the initiative, but deeply desires something to happen. And you can be the one to break this silence. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture, as I mentioned before. It can be something as simple as a moment of honesty, a more direct look, a phrase loaded with meaning but without exaggeration, something like, "I feel that there's something different when we're together. Do you feel that too?" From that moment, everything changes, because even if she is still trapped by fear, that small step can be the sign she needed to open up, to make clear what she feels, what she thinks, what she desires. And believe me, there is nothing more liberating than transforming that tension, that doubt, into something real, something you can explore together. And if you're still hesitating, if you still feel unsure about what to do, then take a pause now. Close your eyes and imagine the scene. Imagine her in front of you, her eyes fixed on you, waiting for a sign, a word. Imagine what could happen if you approached her, if you said something that broke the invisible wall between you. What do you see? Can you visualize the smile that would appear on her face? The relief she would feel upon realizing that she is not alone, that you also feel something, that you also want to discover where this could lead. But now think of the opposite. Think about what it would be like to keep waiting, to let the days pass, for the casual encounters to continue, filled with tension but without any progress. Think about what you would be missing out on, what both of you would be missing out on experiencing. Because in the end, that's what's at stake, not just a kiss, but everything that might come afterward. The possibility of something new, something that could transform the way you see each other. And that will only happen if someone has the courage. She may not say it, but she's hoping it's you. Not because she is incapable, but because the fear that holds her back is greater than the will to act. You can break this cycle. You can be the reason she finally breathes a sigh of relief, the reason she feels all this waiting was worth it. And if you're still looking for an excuse not to act, if you're thinking of all the reasons why this could go wrong, let me ask, what if it goes right? Think of all the times the fear of action prevented you from living something incredible. Think of the opportunities that passed by because you were stuck in your comfort zone. And now see this as the chance to do things differently, to choose risk over doubt, to opt for action over uncertainty. She wants to kiss you, but she doesn't know how to say it. And maybe, just maybe, you've been waiting for this too, even if you haven't realized it. Now that we've reached the central point of this story, it's impossible to ignore. There is a desire between you that, even silent, seems to scream to be lived. She wants to kiss you. It's something that overflows in gestures, in glances, in the pauses between words. And deep down you've already noticed. Maybe you've chosen to ignore it until now. Maybe you've hesitated out of fear or doubt. But you feel it. You know it. And this connection that exists, still not revealed, will not disappear. On the contrary, each day it grows, gains strength, takes up space. But nothing will happen if you continue stuck in this game of silences. The question is, how much longer will you wait to act? Think about everything that could be within your reach if you take the first step. Imagine how liberating it would be to look into her eyes and break this invisible barrier. Imagine what it would be like to take away the weight of uncertainties and pave the way for desire to finally become reality. The kiss she dreams of might be the same one you didn't even know you were waiting for. You are one gesture, one phrase, one moment away from changing everything. So, why not try? Why not take a chance and see what happens when two desires meet? After all, life is made of choices, and this choice could be the beginning of something you never imagined living. Now, it's up to you. What would you do in this situation? Leave your opinion on the topic in the comments. Have you ever experienced something similar? What happened when you took the initiative? Or are you still waiting for the right moment? Share your experience and let's talk about it. If you like this message and feel that it can help someone gain courage or open their eyes to an opportunity, don't forget to leave a like. And of course, subscribe to the channel to receive more reflections and stories like this one. Together, we will explore the feelings that connect us and the choices that can transform our lives. It's your time to act. Make it count.